award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Let's be real. You work. you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Well, welcome to Vermillion High School as we get you set for more action here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live as we now get you set for varsity action, where so far this evening we have seen C and JV action go to 3 sets. And we'll see how varsity action goes this evening, where Vermillion has had a phenomenal season so far, coming in at a 7-11 overall, taking on the 13-8 Dell Rapids Quarriers. Now, Coach Zeller is going to be talking about this here in just a moment, but when you look at this Dell Rapids team, 13-8, you would say they're probably pretty middle of the pack team. They're okay, but that's not necessarily what this Dell Rapids team is, as they have played a lot of great competition. I think almost every single one of their losses is to some ranked opponent, either in Class A or Class B. So, I mean, you talk about a team that, unless they're playing someone ranked, which of course Vermillion is not, there's a good chance they aren't going to lose. Bringing in now the coach, Jody Zeller. Coach Zeller, I know you've mentioned this before. Dell Rapids is your sleeper team. Talk a little bit more about what Dell Rapids is capable. What have you seen so far from them this season, and what's the inside track that you have on this Quarriers team?
Obviously, I'm friends. Well, I have a long connection with Coach Firstall. Erica and I have known each other for a long time. We sat down there and had a nice little chat tonight. She told me she was going to tell her husband to listen to us. So
beautiful.
Hi, Jason, to you. Erica has built a program at Dell Rapids, excuse me. She's young. The kids are young. You're going to see she doesn't start a single senior. She's got a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Her setter, who is outstanding. Number 10, the Randall girl, has been starting for her since an 8th grade year. She is a keeper of a player and getting lots of good looks. But she's got some other young kids, and she's got kids bought into the program. They're doing off-season work. They're doing all of the things they need to do to be successful, and they believe in her, okay? So she even said that they're even a fun group. So sometimes when you have a group like that, there's some snags and stuff in personalities. But she says this group of girls is even getting along really well, and they're a lot of fun to be around. So.
We'll talk more about Dell Rapids coming up here in just a moment, as we are set for opening set 7:20. As again, both games for C and JV went to 3 sets. That's why we're kind of seeing this a little bit later of a start now. Again, we also mentioned it was senior night as well. They honored the seniors, and now it's pink out. It has just been a very, very busy day here in Vermillion, with not only a championship coming home in boys golf, the Vermillion girls in soccer have punched their ticket onto the semifinals, as they'll be playing coming up on Saturday, and the tennis team finished 6th at the state tournament. So a lot of great action, all being capped off now here with volleyball, as Claire Doty will get things started on this Tuesday evening here at Vermillion High School. An early block comes in, but the Quarriers respond nicely. And again, I want to get into Coach Zeller here more, talking about this young squad and how that just sets them up perfectly to continue to build for the future. Block there that takes deflection. Early point for the Quarriers. Well, we talk about this young squad. We've kind of seen this for Vermillion the past few years, and even kind of sort of this year. They do have some of that senior leadership. But how nice is it to be building a squad like this for Dell Rapids that they currently have going?
Yeah, she's, like I said, she's just got loads of talent up there. Just loads of talent and kids that are buying into doing whatever she asks them to do to be successful. So she's doing it the right way.
2-0. Dell Rapids leads it early over Vermillion. Now, when talking about the Tanagers, there's the usual suspects that you'll look at to have a successful night. We'll call their names plenty on this evening. But when looking at Dell Rapids, who's the kind of key players that we need to focus on tonight for the Quarriers?
Well, her setter, number 10, is going to run the program for her. Sophie is a phenomenal player, and she will lead the floor. Is it 10 or is it 8? Not number 10. I'm sorry, number 8. Number 8. And she leads them everywhere around the floor. She runs the show, and she runs it really well. She's a tall girl. You don't often get a setter that's that tall. They've got her listed at 5'11", and I bet you that's I'll bet you she's got a little more on that. But on top of that, look at how athletic she is. Yeah.
Great to see from Dell Rapids early in this as they quickly lead it 5-0. So you talk about Sophie Randall, number 8. Who else is looking to be big for the Quarriers tonight?
Yeah, well, she's got the 2 outside hitters that hit the ball really well, and then the size in the middle is their middle hitters. She's got a 6'1" for up there right now. She's a big block to get around. So
quickly 6-0. Dell Rapids leads it over Vermillion, and yet you kind of compare in size. I mean, Vermillion does have a few girls that are 6 foot themselves, but it's going to be interesting because, I mean, we say that maybe the size is a little ungenerous to the Quarriers here when looking at their starting lineup. But again, a great start for the Quarriers, this 6-0. And now going off that as this one takes a deflection off of O'Neal, goes out. Vermillion still can't find any offense. Vermillion is at as well. We talk about all the success. They're missing some key pieces tonight.
Yeah, Ani Barnett is participating in the state tennis tournament out in Rapid City, and she's done that all year long. But the contests have been close enough that she could double dip and get them both in. Obviously, we couldn't get her back from Rapid City in time for the match tonight. So they're filling her spot. It's going to take 2 kids to fill that spot. You can see here, Josie Askew is a freshman, really making a good, strong start for them here. She's going to play the front row for them, and then I'm guessing they're going to have Bailey Baylor come in and play that back row.
We'll see what Vermillion dips into their bag of tricks. As you mentioned, Baylor now comes onto the court, 8-1. The Quarriers right now all over the Tanagers as Kylie will be up to serve for the Quarriers. Gets it out nicely. And right now, O'Neal just seems very unsettled. This is uncharacteristic with her when it comes to digs. I believe that's now her 3rd dig that she just hasn't been able to even get the ball up in the air.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's coming out there tonight with a lot of confidence. I'd like to see her she's just got to shake it off because they're going to keep coming at her. And if the more she wears it on her face, the more they're going to come at her.
Quickly send it over. The Quarriers do, leading at 9-1 over the Vermillion Tanagers. As it's set, trying to get the strong kill. And this one will fall on the side of the Tanagers. So a kill there of Henry.
Yes.
Quickly 10-1. Well, as we mentioned, this is a Vermillion team that has been phenomenal so far. Yeah, and Henry as an 8th grader, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, 5'10" as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Oof. Such a unique role as this one stays inbounds as well. Point for Voss, so gets a big point there. Some states you go, like I'm, of course, from the state of Iowa, so that was nothing ever capable of doing. You had to be a freshman in high school. Of course, the state of South Dakota has had this rule for quite some time that as a 7th grader and above, you can go up to that level. And yeah, as an 8th grader, no seniors, I mean, having 5'10", you know she's only going to grow even more into length.
Exactly.
And this one comes hard at Voss, and that was a big kill once again for Madeline Henry, the 8th grader. Again, coming in at 5'10" is what we're talking about for the outside hitter. So,
and not is she just 5'10", but she's got a nice vertical on her, too.
Yes. And a good pace on that kill as well. As this one, an error, gives a free point to the Tanagers, as that was Cloth, the sophomore middle hitter, that sends it into the net.
You know, we take advantage with that 7th grader on our soccer team today. Taylor Ruvers getting out there playing today, and she had a great day.
Now, Megan Brady, of course, has been phenomenal this senior as well for the Vermillion girls in soccer. She added another 4 goals today.
Yeah.
And now 7 in the past 2 games here at Veteran Sports Complex. I guess I didn't mention it on the broadcast either, but that was actually the final home game as well for the girls.
Yes.
Cannot play anymore at Veteran Sports Complex. They're on the road for the rest of this kind of state tournament run that they want to try to make here. So one just uses the net, deflects off of Claire Doty. And Dell Rapids is just making quick work of this.
Yeah, and that was their setter hitting the ball there, and she hit it well.
Here is Randall, who is up to serve now. Doty has to run a long way, and this one, a mistake there, kind of looked like almost off balance. Kylie was falling over.
Yeah, it was almost like she didn't realize the ball was supposed to be hers, or that she should be the one playing on it. And that sometimes does get confused because that's where the setter is defending, is on that right side of the court. But we always teach them that if it's a free ball, the setter's going to vacate, and so that other girl has to cover that spot.
And now a deflection that hit off the top of the net.
And I think it hit the antenna as well. That's why it was out of bounds on us. So a kill for Ingalls.
See, and I saw that wrong. I thought it was drifting the way of Dell Rapids. But it just all depends on where it takes deflection. Okay.
To the last person to touch the ball
and
prior
then it goes
to it hitting the antenna.
Is the point goes
against them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, that would make sense. Now I'm picturing that in my head. Now it makes all sense, yes.
He's been working double time today, so he might be.
That didn't make sense at first. Now I pictured in my head. Now that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Serving it over this time is Henry.
That's a great serve.
And punching it up in the air and getting over was Jensen for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now Jensen alone there at the block. Never going to work out. Couple deflections, and now a timeout from Coach Nelson. So Vermillion will use their first timeout, as right now it's all Dell Rapids leading it 15-5. I want to thank our sponsors, including the Vermillion Boosters, there for the student athletes and fans like supporting the Tanagers. Whether through the fundraisers and raffles, the Vermillion Boosters are there always giving back to the Vermillion School. They've been up to date on their Facebook page as well, giving us plenty of updates on the sports that are happening. So if you haven't liked them yet, make sure you do so on their Facebook page. Now, this is one different thing, though. The boosters do a lot, but you said this was through a fundraiser that you did several years back, is why the girls are wearing the pink jerseys, correct?
Yes, it's a program that I asked to be involved in through Adrenaline Fundraising. When you participate in their fundraisers, obviously he makes money off it, as well as did our team make money off of it. But the first year or second year that we did it, he helped us purchase, I guess, these pink uniforms that the girls are wearing tonight. So it was one of the nice perks. Another nice perk that they do for you is if you participate in their fundraising program, you get to go to their camp, or they will have one of their leaders come in and do a camp for you for nothing.
That's awesome.
You can't pass on stuff like that.
Absolutely not. And going off that, I know Darren extremely well, and I know part of his broadcasting team that he works with includes former USD volleyball player Sammy Slaughter.
Yes.
So kind of, know my way around that. That's like my one little in with volleyball. I feel like I have.
Well, and prior to Sammy, they had Haley Dotseth.
Yes.
Haley is who came and did our camp for us that year. Yes.
That's awesome. 17-5. It's nothing but Dell Rapids. As we mentioned, Quarriers coming into this 13-8 overall, but have lost to opponents all ranked, including, did you say they lost to?
They have lost. What did Erica tell me tonight? They lost to Dakota Valley. I thought she said just last night.
That's what I was thinking you said earlier.
Yeah, now that you say that, I'm just kind of clicking that together, too.
It's a Monday night, which could be possible.
And she told me that in set 1, they were up 15-10, and in set 2, they were up 5-0. So difference there in experienced players versus young players, and that's what she felt cost them the match last night. Was it last night?
Yeah, it was last night.
I did hear that right.
Wow. So
yeah, but they've lost to them. They lost to Sioux Falls Christian. They've lost to Canton twice, who's in the ratings for the first time in, Heath tells me tonight, 33 years.
Yes.
Wow, he's dating me because I think that might have been back when I was maybe in high school. And they've lost to Elkton Lake Benton, who's also receiving votes. They've lost to them a couple of times. Every game they've been expected to win, they've come out and won, though. They had, like as Erica said, you don't want to lose any of them, but at least the teams they're losing to are good, competitive programs.
And Garrett's the only team that they've lost to that's not ranked, but Garrett's, I mean, is 11-5 overall.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal this year. And then they've lost to West Lyon out of the state of Iowa. Now, I know Iowa, again, does rankings differently. I want to say West Lyon isn't within the top 10, and that's how they look at it in the state of Iowa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about some great losses for Dell Rapids.
Yeah, and that was at the Canton tournament early, so you never know what's happened since then as well.
Yep.
So.
And now another quick point for Dell Rapids, as again they quickly have blown this wide open. In fact, I guess I shouldn't say it hasn't even really been a set here in set one.
Yeah, it's been the Dell Rapids show.
It has been since the beginning, where they opened up quickly to start 5-0, have not looked back since, leading it right now 19-8. And we have seen this from Vermillion, where they've had some shaky sets, but they bounce back nicely. They'll be looking to do that as O'Neill goes running into the crowd. She's okay. I think she just wants to take a breather.
She could have, she almost could have just laid down and taken a nap. She was buried that deep.
She looked like she kind of wanted to at least take the nap and forget this set the way things have gone so far.
Well, and if you look, I mean, Dell Rapids is the aggressor. They're serving aggressively. Their serves are low and fast and consistent, and they're hitting the ball at us hard.
And that time they get scrappy, they get lucky, and just come up with a big point. But this time Voss, I should say, gets lucky getting it over, but then Voss eventually gets the kill.
Yeah, and that's going to be really key here tonight, that Brooklyn and Brooke both have to swing at the ball hard.
Also, congratulations to Brooke Jensen on her first college offer. She's a good volleyball player, but of course we know she excels at basketball. She got her first official offer from the University of North Dakota. Now, only as a sophomore, plenty more is going to be coming up over the next couple of years.
Well, as Brooke's prior coach, I would like to say that Brooke excels at volleyball. She is young and she is growing like crazy. Her talents could take her a long way on the volleyball court.
Of course, has some good genes in there as well.
So true.
Speaking of, we were kind of making the comment the other day of running into former players, including Jake Jensen. Her brother ran into Jake this past weekend as well. So a little bit of baseball for Mount Marty with their exhibition as they were wrapping things up for the fall season, getting ready for the kind of now spring season, or the normal season that comes up after winter. Gap gets it over this time, dug up nicely, but Dell Rapids couldn't get it on the right side, but they have just been scrappy. They've been quick to balls tonight. Great play from Dell Rapids, again, as they lead it by 10 right now here in this first set, 21-11. And Voss sends this off the top of the head of Puckett there, 22-11. Well, forget about this set.
Right. The key here is they've got to get their shoulders raised. Right now, they're all sagging shoulders, hoping the ball doesn't come to them. Please go to somebody else. Not me. Okay. Claire was in the net there on that one, so that was the call there. They have to have, it'd be nice to get that mood change going right here at the end of this set. Maybe get a point or two, get 3 in a row, get some momentum, and then start to set 2 off better. Those high passes like that are not going to get them going anywhere.
And then there's just miscommunication there between Jensen and O'Neill, who just run into each other. Well, good for Dell Rapids. They dominate in set number 1. I mean, that's all you can say there is to it. Mistakes and domination.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick much that they need to improve. Right? As we did get one on the floor there.
Point for Vermillion. So again, Dell Rapids has still doubled up the Tanagers at this moment, 25-12. So still on set point. And this one, service error, goes straight into the net. And as we mentioned, well, for Vermillion, shake it out. Shake it out. There's a reason we play 5. There's a reason it says win by 3. That's exactly what the Vermillion Tanagers are going to be looking to do. As again, final in set number 1, 25-12.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yeah, we need a definite turnaround. They need somebody to step up, pass the ball. They need to swing at it hard. But the key thing to me, I don't know that we had a single touch on a block even. We've got to get a block put down. We've got to get something in their heads to make them think when they're hitting the ball.
Let's see if they can make that adjustment. Set number 2 comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC. Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Well, back here for set number 2. Welcome back to Live Ticket TV, as it was nothing but domination from Dell Rapids Quarriers. 25-12 victory. Coach Zeller mentioned the main thing she'd like to see in set number 2 is a block setup. See if they can't get that going. Of course, I'm a little partial to Dell Rapids as well. They have my favorite color in their jerseys.
Orange?
Yeah, I'm a big orange guy.
Big orange guy.
Big orange guy. Trying to get an early care of the Quarriers there. As Vermillion will just send it over. And now a quick little toss over. Vermillion wasn't ready defensively. A great look there. As Dell Rapids has done that several times in that first set where they just the quick tap over to get a point.
Yeah, that's Randall up there, and she is, but you know, the biggest thing is she's an aggressor. Anytime she can score a point for her team, she's going to do that. But our girls are standing watching the game. We're watching the game. We're not playing the game. We're watching and reacting to them playing the game. They've got to start playing the game themselves.
And we were just talking about off the break as well. Vermillion's got to get something going here, because before they're going to go another long break, and here's just an ace that lands right in the middle of the court. Nice job there from Lexi. Dell Rapids, who is up serving right now, again, just gets an ace right in the middle of the court, 3-0. But, I mean, we have Dell Rapids. I say we as in the Vermillion Tanagers, and
so that was an illegal alignment.
That's
is
what I was
what
thinking,
that call was. And it was because Shaylin was in front of Brooklyn. So that, yes, they should have pushed Shaylin back, because they probably don't, they probably need to keep her out of that serve receive. So
4-0, and now a big block, but stays on the Quarriers side.
That's the key, is you got to swing at them hard. You got to get at them hard and hope that they don't get it closed and that you can ricochet it through there.
So break that down just for anyone who doesn't understand volleyball up there a little bit more. What just happened with the free point ultimately as another kill comes in for the Quarriers? They lead at 5-1. What was off there in the alignment once again?
Okay, so the rule on this is one of the things that fans don't understand. The lineup on the floor is very strict. So if you notice, there's 3 girls in the back row and there's 3 girls in the front row. The girls that are, you cannot be further in front of the player in front of you, and you can't be further left or right than the players beside you, okay? So in that last one, Shaylin actually moved in front of Brooklyn, and so that Brooklyn could pass, which made complete sense. but Shaylin is behind Brooklyn. Shaylin should have stayed behind Brooklyn and moved in front of the middle back, which was, I think, Serena at that point.
6-1, Dell Rapids on top of Vermillion. And this one, just a bad hit there for Vermillion and Josie, as that one went straight into the ground. And, well, domination from set number 1 continues on right now, as this is currently 32-13. Dell Rapids has outscored the Vermillion Tanagers here into this second set.
Well, it's got to, you know, and as I watch that, I've mentioned a couple of times, our passes are to the ceiling, which gives them double the time to get transitioned and get where they need to be defensively. We've got to lower the height of our passes, and we have to get our passes to Claire. Claire can't run a marathon and set a successful game as well. So our passers have got to step up right here.
Kylie this time sends it into the net for Dell Rapids. It gives a point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion just their second point here in set number 2. Again, fell in set number 1, 25-12. Set up, and this one just knocked over the net, popped up in the air, blocked that time by Voss, but sent nicely over once again by Dell Rapids. Trying to come back the opposite way are the Quarriers.
Boy, they play hard, don't they?
They do. Quickly moving as well. Quarriers back row, and not quite able to get there this time are the Dell Rapids. And Vermillion puts together back-to-back points for the first time here in this second set.
Yeah, the key there, we hit a couple of balls at them in a row, and if we bring the ball down, that's going to speed up the play, and then they don't get all that time to get where they want to be on the court. They're having to play it maybe out of position a time or two.
8-3, and now miscue by the Tanagers gives a point right back to Dell Rapids. Now I gotta look, maybe I'm missing something here in the schedule.
You think so?
I gotta remember.
Well, when some of those seasons start to wind down, it really does kind of leave us like, you know, we're used to going 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden we're like at a screeching halt some days.
The 15th.
That's next week.
Yeah, that's still.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the DAC-12 conference has to be coming up.
Yes, that is on the 15th. That's next week. Yep.
If it was this, I didn't think it was this weekend. It is next weekend that is coming up. Can't say we'll have coverage of it, as next Friday, I know I'm supposed to be traveling, but I don't know exactly how travel conditions will be for me yet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that tournament's going to be up at West Central this year. I'm the executive secretary of the Dakota 12 Conference, so I kind of have the ins on what's going on in there sometimes. Not always. The ADs just make a lot of decisions. But I need to record them.
Another point for Dell Rapids as they now lead it 12-3. Timeout for Vermillion. A much-needed timeout. We'll see if they can't refocus. But again, it has been certainly a tough sledding here for the Vermillion Tanagers, now being outscored 37-15 through 1.5 sets. We're stepping aside. We're back in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Back into action. It's 12-3 here in set number 2. The Vermillion Tanagers trail by 9 as they continue to struggle to find their offense. Certainly a dominating performance by Dell Rapids as Cloth is up to serve the sophomore as O'Neal sets it up. Baylor sends it across court and just trying to get it over his gap as she sends it straight into the net, 13-3.
Kelsey, we got to keep Kelsey's head in the game here. She wants her instinct is to feel bad for herself, and she just needs to get over the hump. One good pass.
13-3.
Look at how high that pass is.
Yep.
That's just killed. Yeah.
And it ends up working out nicely as the strong kill comes in from Brooklyn Voss. But you mentioned that pass goes extremely high in the air. As you said, it gives Dell Rapids a chance to set, everyone kind of get back into normal rotation.
Yep, and all she has to do is relax her arms a little bit. Those passers, just relax your arms a little bit, and then that will take some of the sting off of that ball, and it'll keep it at the height it needs to be at.
Vermillion once again, back-to-back points. Trying to stay in it here.
You know, Brooklyn actually is hitting the ball pretty well. I told Heath here I'm going to try to keep some stats tonight. I've got her for 5 kills tonight, but I don't have Brooke Jensen for a single one. So it would be nice to get Brooke going here.
Certainly would be. She's a big piece of this offense, and we've seen kind of a couple more blocks, but once again, the blocks go up, and they don't get a single piece of it. I think that's about the 4th time I've seen that happen so far tonight.
And once again, you have to give up something on that block, because if they pull the block in and try and block her across court, all she's going to do is hit down the line.
Yep.
And that's harder to defend. So you got to play that. I would agree with where they're setting that block. Cover that line with the block and make your across court defender play the ball. The problem is our cross court defender is not getting low. She's not getting ready for the ball. She's standing and waiting for the ball to come to her rather than reading it and going to get it. So she's got to start reading, and she's got to move before the ball does.
14-6, an 8-point lead for Dell Rapids here in set number 2 after they won set number 1, 25-12. And there's a strong kill once again from Madeline Henry, that 8th grader. As I mentioned, coming in at 5'10", she's come with a lot of power. She's been impressive so far.
I've got her for 5 kills and an ace serve as well.
Wow.
So she's the real deal, man.
Speaking of, she's up to serve right now as she puts quite a bit of pace on that, as just to mention 8th grader for the Dell Rapids Quarrier. Come back once again. Great block this time by the Tanagers as Claire Doty and Brooke Jensen there to send it back. Vermillion trying to put a little bit of a stretch here together, and now the lead is not starting to dim by any means.
I think the key here is that we just need to get a little streak going. Like what I would tell them right now is our goal right now is to make them call a timeout.
Sure.
Yeah, but in order to do that, we have to hit the ball at them and keep that blocking up. They're getting some blocks in. It's making a little bit of a difference.
Went over the top. This time it worked for O'Neill to recover there the dig. And once again, Vermillion's able to put a little bit of a streak here. Back-to-back points. 15-8. Still trailing by 7. But just continue to chip away. This gap now up to serve. Quarriers set. Having to get it over is Carly this time for Quarriers. Jensen the opposite way, trying to get her first kill. Takes the deflection. And Vermillion getting a little bit of a minus 3-point streak here.
Yeah, but we had a good pass there.
Yep.
Okay, and we're able to swing at the ball hard there.
Go to 25. Quarriers are past the halfway mark. Vermillion trying to make a little bit of a comeback. Ball just goes slightly over the net. Here comes Dell Rapids as they set up nicely once again. Vermillion there to dig, but then sends it into the net themselves. And a point for Dell Rapids.
Claire's really trying to keep Josie Askew involved here. Josie can hit the ball well. I'm sure she's scared. This is a hard game to try and break in her very first ever varsity action. But she's trying to hang in there.
See if he can't get you some score updates as well. Sioux Falls Christian and Canton are playing tonight.
Oh.
In Sioux Falls.
What are you seeing so far?
25-20, 25-15. Both sets have gone to Sioux Falls. Garrettson's beaten Del Rapids St. Mary 1-0. Looks like they're going to win set 2 here in just a moment. Also, Viber Curley won set number 1 over Elk Point Jefferson 1-0. Looks like Elk Point Jefferson might draw that one back. And that's just a quick look at scores that we're seeing at least here right in the vicinity, right in the area for that DAC 12. Of course, the DAC 12 when it comes to the standings is just stacked once again.
What you see? Did you see that? We've moved our block inside, and the last 2 hits now have gone down that line, which makes Kelsey have to go over there, and it's just harder to play that position on the floor.
19-9, back up to a 10-point lead for Dell Rapids, and this one, strong kill, set up beautifully, and Cloth left no doubt.
That's 6 kills for her, too.
Wow.
They hit the ball hard.
They do. They come with plenty of pace on it.
Yeah. I always told the girls, because you want to sometimes mix it up with the speed of the ball, and you want to set up your tips with your hits, but if they're going to hit like that, let's just keep hitting. It's pretty for me to watch even.
It is. It is. Sometimes you have to appreciate, even if it's the team you're rooting for that's taking all the blows, you have to appreciate what you're seeing on the opposite side. Dell Rapids again leading it by 20 down the corner, and it just stays in. And once again, you talk about looking at something beautiful. That was a great play there by Dell Rapids.
Yeah, and that was the Henry girl again, this time hitting from the back row.
Madeline Henry, just phenomenal night for her, 21-10. Up to serve now is Lexi for the Quarriers. Claire Doty has to get an off-balance pass. Vermillion eventually just sends it over. Once again, up there trying to get the point was Cloth. Blocked. Cloth in there with the block. And a point for Dell Rapids. But even the pace on that hit from the Tanagers wasn't even strong enough.
Yeah. So on a set like that, I don't know if you can see that, but on a set like that, Brooklyn sometimes gets caught at the net when she blocks. She was doing a really good job of directing traffic up there, but she needs to transition quicker, get off the net quicker, so that she can still be an active choice as a hitter.
Popped up and just Vermillion able to receive. Voss back the opposite way. Quarriers set, strong kill.
There she is again.
Madeline Henry once again. Another kill. Is at number 7?
I've got her for 7, and I probably don't have them all.
23-10. Again in set number 1. It was Dell Rapids, 25-12.
I was going to kind of give her a hard time for those bright orange shoes, but I guess if you're going to play like that, you can wear whatever shoes you want.
I say she has been flashy with what she's been able to accomplish so far. And this time, Voss gets a good kill. Vermillion trying to build themselves up here at the end. Of course, I'm a fan of the bright, flashy shoes.
We did talk about that last time, didn't we?
See, and I'm a big color coordinator guy as well.
Oh, that was pretty.
With what I wear for clothing and what I wear for shoes. So
you are.
So if you notice tonight,
your shoes match your
my
shirt.
shoes match the shirt. And yes, I did do that on purpose. Before you asked, I did do that on purpose today. 24.
Cole, do you match your shoes and shirt?
Cole's like, I got one pair of set of shoes and that's it. Dell Rapids just needs to get it over. They're able to do so. Doty to Voss. Voss, the block there by the Quarriers. Dell Rapids comes the opposite way, and just across court, Madeline Henley gets another big kill as she's able to attack Josie. And once again, Dell Rapids gets a big set in convincing fashion. This time, 25-11. So now you look at it, 50-23. Well, Coach Zeller, what do you say for set number 3?
Well, I would say after those 2 sets, it might be time to try something different, something new. Maybe they need to rotate the lineup a couple of spots so they're matching up different kids on different people. You know, Brooklyn seems to be getting more touches on the block than somebody else. So, you know, you only have to rotate the lineup 1 or 2 spots to get different matchups, and maybe it'll get some more touches on that block.
Well, we'll see what they decide to do. Set number 3 comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Back here in Vermillion as we are set for set number 3, as right now the Dell Rapids Quarriers are looking for the sweep, and if it's been anything like the first two, pack it in for the Night Tanager fans. This one looks like it could be over pretty quickly, as so far Dell Rapids has won set 25-12-1. Set number 2 went 25-11, but a quick early mistake for Dell Rapids gives Vermillion their first lead of the evening.
They are human because they have literally done not much of anything wrong tonight.
And said there's another mistake there by Madeline Henry as she just tried to facepalm it herself. Sent her right down into the hardwood, and Vermillion quickly leads 2-0. Well, we'll see if this isn't the turning point. Now Claire Doty is up to serve for the Vermillion Tanagers right now, and of course she's been phenomenal all year long.
Yeah, you know I like her back there on the serving line.
And this one goes out. Vermillion quickly leads it 3-0.
All 3 points based off of errors on Dell Rapids.
Yep.
So that's good for us.
Yes. Claire Doty up to serve once again. Set up nicely back to the back row. O'Neal. Doty has to give it back. Gap just has to send it over with the bad pass. And now poked over. Vermillion kind of gave a half-hearted attempt there on the block.
Yes, that's good terminology for what it looked like. Half-hearted, okay?
Took me a while to get that out, though.
It did.
Too much caffeine. 3-1. And this one, O'Neal tries to dig it up, takes the big deflection, comes close to us. Now 3-2.
And that was by their setter. So the back row tossed the ball up there, and she took a swing at it right down the line.
Lexi up to serve once again for the Quarriers.
There's a good pass.
Doty to Voss, who gets a piece of the net. Able to finish it off, 4-2. Again, big day for Vermillion as another state title is coming home. As we said, unofficially, 2 titles this year, which has been great to see. Again, you can't count one of them because it's technically not through the school, but it feels basically like the school's title. With most of the kids that aren't around anymore, though.
You know, the baseball was senior-led, or
Yep.
by last year's seniors, it was led by that group. But there were a couple of young ones. But, boy, the golf team's the complete opposite of that.
I
Those
know.
kids are young.
Say, if it's anything like that's going to be for the next few years, you
Yeah.
might just, Vermillion might be winning a pretty bunch of titles here.
Little golf dynasty right
Yep.
here in Old Vermtown.
That could be. Especially when you have as a coach, Hoagie. I mean, he's a pretty good golfer himself, and he's a really, really good coach. He really knows how to get the best out of kids by just explaining, being patient with them. He's a very, very good coach.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep, 2 handsome boys are going to be great. And as I hear a lot of younger talent as well.
Yes.
What I've heard is there's some golfers in the 6th grade level are better than what we have right now. And that's kind of scary to say because I feel like we're pretty stacked with what we have going.
We do have some good golfers in that 6th grade level, so I know they've been out there and they support those kids and they go to the practices and that kind of stuff, and they're very excited about it. So
5-5 here back in volleyball action. That's another mistake by Dell Rapids. Gives a point to the Tanagers. Golf, something I picked up. I enjoy golf, not good at golf.
Really? Golf was probably my best sport, actually.
Really?
It was. Now that I look back on it, I wish it would have been cool to be a golfer. Because at that point in my livelihood, I felt like I needed to do what was cool for some reason. And I was a good golfer. And I played golf recreationally, but I probably could have helped the team out.
Now, do you still golf a little bit?
I do. Yep. Not as much as I used to. I've got a bad hip. When I had my twins, they kind of wrecked that hip. So I don't as much as I used to. But, yeah. I had my handicap down to the single digits at one time. Yeah.
Jeez. Now, of course, Coach Zeller talks about golf being her best, but went on to go have what? How long of a collegiate career? You went all 4 years, correct, right?
I played for 3 years.
3 years, okay, 3 years. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4.
Yeah. I played back in the days, we're going to talk about how old I am here again. When I played in high school, we played a 4-2 offense.
Okay.
Nowadays, most schools will play a 6-1 offense, or some will play a 6-2, but most play a 6-1. We played, I set from the front row. There was no setter coming from the back row. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, when I went to college at USD, we did pull our setter from the back row. Yes.
Sure.
So I didn't play a setter in college, though. I played a defender. So we wore the teeny weeny. We called them bloomers. They look like a pair of the track underwear types of things. That's what we played in. Wasn't just spandex. They were like
Wow.
It was a weird time.
What was that, through the 80s and 90s there?
Yes. Way to date me some more.
9-7 here. The Vermillion Tanagers with a lot of mistakes from Dell Rapids here in this third set. Do still hold on to their lead as of right now. As the Quarriers try to set it up. Baylor just knocks it over as it went straight to her. Once again, blocked there by Doty. Another kill that went off the top of a blocker there. I believe that was Josie in there.
It was, yep. So it's good to see her getting her hands on it. Now, if it goes up over her hands like that, that probably means she was too early.
Yep.
Most likely too early, so she's just got to be a little more patient.
9-8, as again Vermillion bringing in a little bit of a younger squad, trying to fill in a couple of gaps with tennis going on. This one hit off the antenna.
Yep.
Looks like it did.
Yes.
Because I know, of course, it can get close to that top of the net there. It can shake the antenna, but that antenna had quite a bit of movement there.
Yeah, yep.
Another interesting player I'm looking forward to, Vermillion, I know she's still growing into her own, is Regan Lee there. I think she is going to be phenomenal. I know she's a sophomore, but with her size and the way she's grown, I think she can be huge going into next year.
You know, and Regan's a hard worker. She's a really nice girl, and her parents have do a good job of keeping her involved because she's not a basketball player. She's a volleyball player only. And so she has done some off-season work, and she loves the game. So.
And don't say she's not a basketball player, because that only...
She doesn't play basketball.
Because that only upsets Dad, which, of course...
I know.
Dad is huge into basketball.
Yes,
but
he is. She doesn't play basketball for Vermillion High School.
That's true. 11-9. She'd be a very key asset as well.
I remember the day my daughter told me she didn't want to play basketball anymore, and I just about hyperventilated.
Oh. And that was it?
Yeah, I guess they get to decide. I tried to tell her that wasn't an option, but she was a daddy's girl. She still is. I don't know why I say was.
11-10 here. Vermillion still holding on to a 1-point lead, but a kill that goes straight in between two blockers, and we're tied. here in this third set as Del Rapids trying to make a comeback. 11-11 up to serve right now is Henry. Right there at the net.
How is that not an... Yeah. So I think that's a little... It'd be nice to see that one on the net, but the ref must not have thought so. So the rule on that is you get 3 touches on the ball.
Right.
So that your opponent cannot reach over the ball. So when Claire's setting the ball, the other team cannot reach over and block a ball that Claire is setting unless part of the ball is on top of the net. So she must have felt part of the ball was on top of the net there.
It looked close.
I just don't know how the setter can set it if the ball's partially on top of the net.
Sure. 13-11.
Yeah.
Unfortunately has gone against Vermillion as they continue to make mistakes, but now a service error there from Henry gives a point back to the Tanagers, but Del Rapids once again has their lead 13-12 here in set number 3.
So the 8th grader is human too.
Which Madeline has been impressive so far tonight.
Yes.
And now Voss gets the kill. Tied back up once again.
Yes, and that to me was all set up off of the pass. Every bit of it. That was a great pass by Brooke Jensen. I'd love to see her back there playing a little bit of back row.
Josie up to serve once again, and this one set up beautifully to Cloth, but she wasn't able to get the kill, but then Vermillion sends it into the net. Mistake there from Josie. Point for Del Rapids as they go back up by 1. Well, we were talking about it earlier.
Oh, here's another new player in the game. Marissa Miracle's in. Sorry.
No, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. The junior steps in, the outside hitter. Now, this was something we brought up earlier, and it seems like we've gone away from it. It's just times haven't necessarily mashed up because we're always having our interviews with Coach Nelson, but the way we have soccer constantly that we've been following along with, we haven't got to our conversations. But, you know, Coach Nelson mentioned she was okay with keeping kind of a simple rotation, but now this is starting to show she's digging a little bit deeper into her bench. Granted, you know, missing a couple of key factors tonight, but a little bit more of this deeper rotation.
Yeah, and a deep understanding for how valuable Ani is to this team.
Yep. Now, Vermillion has faced adversity plenty of times so far this season.
They've had a couple of sicknesses go through, girls be gone for different reasons.
Yep.
So they've had to shuffle their lineup several times. Had weddings.
Yep.
They've just had a little bit of everything, haven't they?
Yep. O'Neill was out as we had our first kind of coverage of this season. Yeah, it certainly has been a shuffle for the Vermillion Tanagers, but also a good season for them as well.
Yep.
Doty gets a save and just popped up in the air, and it falls on the side right there on the line as it took a deflection there for Puckett and able to somehow come up with a huge point.
You got to take luck when things are going the way they're going tonight.
That was a luck point for sure. And this one a little bit too far. Gives it right back to Del Rapids, 17-15. The way this one's churning out, it looks like Del Rapids could get the sweep and call it an early evening.
I'd rather Brooke Jensen have a really solid front row trip through here and take it to set 4. Serena's starting to come on again too. Boy.
Strong kill as O'Neill pops this one up high in the air. Gap just sends it over. Del Rapids sets once again. Good block there in front by Jensen. And the Tanagers come up with a huge point.
Keep her going, Brooke.
17-16. Trailing by 1. Tanagers.
That was a good serve.
Getting over there with Gap was the one who was up to serve.
Josie's just starting to get in the swing here.
And Vermillion's starting to grab a little bit momentum as this has really been the first set they've stayed in here.
Yeah, I think that's Josie's first kill of the night. Good job.
17-17. Here on this breast cancer awareness evening as well. Everyone kind of wearing the pink jerseys. Jensen, this one a little too far. Gives it back to Dell Rapids. Should have wore my pink shirt tonight. I missed the memo. Someone would have told me, why didn't you tell me it was pink out?
I don't know that I knew it was pink out.
I would have worn my pink shoes. I would have worn my pink shirt.
You probably got pink socks.
I do have pink socks.
That was pretty.
That was another strong kill
by the 8th grader.
Oh, Henry has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
How much you got?
I've got her down for 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Coach, why don't you use a tally system?
Well, because I was trying to keep kills and aces and blocks all. So you got to use the letter.
Okay. That makes sense.
I don't do basic stats, Heath.
You do not. So you're over here writing K's, writing B's, writing A's, counting them up now. I'm going to get you a stat book. Why do we not have a stat book with you up here with it?
I don't know. I probably have several of my own.
Why don't you just use, you could probably use an iPad, or is a stat book easier for you?
No.
This one just blocked straight down by Claire Doty on the Tanager side. So another point for Dell Rapids. It was 17-17 at one point. It's now been 4 straight points for Dell Rapids.
Yes. Shoulders are starting to sag. Even the celebration isn't quite as celebratory.
Yep. Even with that service error. So Vermillion, they need to get on a little bit of a run here. As Emma is up to serve now for Vermillion. Again, trying to put together a run, force a 4th set, then back-to-back mistakes. 21-19. As Emma up to serve once again, able to get it over nicely. This one just popped over there by Wolf, and Vermillion, no, it was out of bounds.
I couldn't see this sideline. Was it as close as it looked?
Coach.
I know. We're going to have to get after Coach Fishbach on that one. She's probably thinking about the cross-country meet tomorrow already. They got a big one. DAC 12 meets tomorrow.
And they've been phenomenal. Another young team. Another really young team. Point here for the Vermillion Tanagers. Is everyone young?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess the football team, they have some seniors.
Yeah. Just a lot of hurt ones.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of hurt ones.
So true. I've got that last one being, this would be number 12 for Brooklyn Boss.
Having herself a phenomenal night, and right now Vermillion, to mention at one point going down 21-17, has climbed back in at 22-21 here in set number 3. Trying to force a 4th set, a block that takes deflection. Point for Dell Rapids, trying to ice this one off and win it in straight sets. Up the serve will be Lexi for the Quarriers. Popped up high in the air.
Just way high.
Right there at the net once again. Henry Voss sets it back to Josie. Josie able to get it over nicely. Strong kill straight in the block, but Dell Rapids able to dig it out. Madeline just sends it over for Dell Rapids. Josie tries to find a hole in the defense. Not there once again. Strong with the hit. Madeline Henry. But Vermillion threw a couple blocks there. Able to get the point. Took a deflection on its way through the block, and Vermillion gets a huge point.
Yes, second kill for Josie Askew there. Good job to the freshman.
23-22. Speaking of, Josie's up to serve now. Dell Rapids sets. Send it back row to O'Neal. Doty has to go close to the net. Right there is Boss with the kill. Took a deflection off of Cloth, the sophomore, and eventually found its way down in a timeout for Dell Rapids.
Got him to call a timeout.
A huge timeout. Again, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors, including First Bank and Trust. Enjoy the convenience of digital banking from anywhere, including fast and secure mobile and online options. Of course, the customized features let you streamline banking tasks across all platforms, even other financial institutions. Banking has never been easier with First Bank and Trust. And don't forget, Live Ticket TV is your home for all Vermillion Tanager athletics. Plus, more than 65 schools across the state of South Dakota. We have you covered. Make sure you download the app today, Live Ticket TV. And if you're interested in advertising, make sure you get a hold of your local representative for Live Ticket TV, which is pretty cool because it's this guy.
Tooting your own horn.
Toot my own horn. When I have sporting events, if you call, you will not get a hold of me. That happened this evening. Have to get back to that advertiser a little bit. I'll get back to them tomorrow. A block
There you go.
that takes the deflection out of bounds. And, of course, big reason for advertising with Live Ticket TV, 20% of all the sales go right back to the school. So,
Gotta love that.
gotta help out the school. Gotta love the support. All right, here it is to win
Match
it.
point. Yep.
And 3 straight is 24-23. And this one set up perfectly. And that one is a victory for Dell Rapids. In the end, it was popped up straight to Madeline Henry off the dig. She wasted no doubt about it. And Dell Rapids wins the third set, 25-23. Well, Coach Ziller, let's wrap it up here on Live Ticket TV. Call it an evening. We got 9 days now to get things sorted out.
Yes. To get ourselves organized, they need to obviously do a little recovery here, work a little bit on the passing, and build each other back up.
Well, certainly have to do that. Now, they will have some time off. They don't play again until next Thursday against Canton on the road. Again, Canton is ranked for the first time in 33 years. They have been phenomenal. Coach, as always, I appreciate it. You have yourself a wonderful evening, all right?
I will. Thanks for having me again.
Next time we're with you is 6 o'clock this Friday, as we have nothing coming up on Thursday, which is weird to say. Usually have something, but we'll catch you 6 o'clock on Friday for Vermillion versus Canton. Pregame begins at 6 with the kickoff set for 7. Until then, you've been listening to volleyball and soccer here on Live Ticket TV. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.